Welcome once again to the BizLife Podcast. We're recording from our studios in lovely North Las Vegas, Nevada. My name's Mike Bindrup. I'm with UNR Extension Small Business Education Program. Happy to be here today. Thank you for joining us once again. Here with my co-pilot today, Shiva Kittusamy.
Hello.
Thank you, Shiva, for being here today.
Excited to be here.
You're excited? Good.
Yeah.
Me too. And we have a very, very special guest here today. We're so happy to have on our show today. We're honored to have you on. This is Senator Jacky Rosen from Nevada.
Everybody out there.
Thank you. Thank you for coming on. This is an honor for us.
No, it's really great to be here.
Thank you. Well, as we start out, first of all, we'd like to talk about kind of your origin story. Mm-hmm. How did you get to Nevada, first of all, and where did you come from? How did all that go, and how'd you get it? How'd you get to be a senator?
Well, it's a great question, and it's we'll do the shortened version. You'll want to do the whole long 500-page version, but I can tell you that I grew up in Chicago, and my dad, first-generation American. Okay. Of course, my mother's grandparents, immigrants as well, and my dad was a salesman. My mom was a homemaker, and when I graduated high school, they moved out here to Las Vegas in about 1975. I went to college in Minnesota. Needless to say, it was very cold there.
Yeah.
And they lived in the very lovely Las Vegas. I was a December graduate, 50 below zero in Minneapolis. Oh, wow. And they said, why don't you come to Nevada? And so my mama didn't raise no fool. I moved to Nevada. But my family came here about 50 years. I drove my Dodge Dart from Minneapolis all the way here. Had a slant six engine. They were the best engines ever. It made it all across the country. Great car. And loaded up all my stuff and came here. I started my career as a computer programmer, but during the summers, like I said, I grew up in a middle-class family. My dad was a salesman, fought in the war, World War II, and of course, maybe in the 70s, a little different time, people worked hard to put themselves through college. I took out student loans, put myself through college as a waitress. A couple of the summers I worked here. I was a member of Culinary 226 right here in Nevada, and that... Yes, I did work at Caesar's Palace one summer. Yes, I did. It wasn't last summer, trust me. It's a long time between that 21-year-old and now. It seems like yesterday. But put myself through school as tips, and I started my career as a computer programmer. But as a woman, I didn't make as much as the guys who worked with me, and I still work banquets. I carry those trays like this on the weekends.
It's hard work.
Grateful for that union job, and then became a woman in tech. And I wasn't sure I'd stay in Las Vegas, but of course my family was here. I got a good job. I started making friends, and now I've been here 50 years. So that is how I got here, and that's how I got my first job. Actually, I'll give a shout out to College of Southern Nevada, but it was community college back then. I had a bachelor's degree from University of Minnesota, but well, this was 1980, so there was only mainframes. It was very different. And I suddenly was writing software for Sumer Corporation, which were all the Howard Hughes companies back then. And I didn't have accounting and all those things. I'm writing accounting and payroll and all of this. So I went over to community college, and I took those classes that helped me work with the accountants and all the corporate kinds of people that we were. There was nothing you could buy off the shelf. It was all mainframe. So I got a degree from there, and so this is how people still today, whether you're going straight from high school or you want to be retrained or trained again or enhance what you're doing, they were instrumental in helping me, especially understand all that accounting stuff that I didn't get as an undergraduate.
And you are the first computer programmer that we've had in the Senate. Is that correct?
I'm the first and only.
Really?
Yes.
The
first.
Wait, the only?
The only. And so there are other folks who are engineers. As we have astronaut, we have engineers and some other folks. And they may have written software when they were in school. Okay. But I'm the only person who got paid to do it for a living and wrote large-scale computer software. So I am the person who actually wrote algorithms, I guess you'll say.
Oh, my heavens.
Did you write in assembly, or?
Yes, I did.
Nice,
so there you go. You know some old. So it was assembler. Yes, assembler, COBOL, PL1.
Okay.
Some of those very old-fashioned languages. Now, of course, I still think that many government things are still on COBOL. They're looking for those legacy programmers to come out, and they've been a workhorse all these years, 40 years. But of course, we moved on and began to write PC languages and others, but really a mainframe's nothing more than a giant server. That's all it is, really.
Right.
So,
Exactly. Yeah. So number one, why politics? What made you go, I need to get involved in this? And number two, how did you? I know you got through the House of Representatives. You served in Nevada in the House, and so why politics? And how did that path go for you?
Well, I can tell you that, of course, I was working as a computer programmer, and then my parents lived here. Like I said, my in-laws retired here, and that was great because I had a daughter and grandparents babysitting, all the fun things. But sadly, they all got old and ill at the same time. I stepped away from my job to be a full-time caregiver for them, take care of my daughter. I can tell you that what I went through every disease, cancer, Alzheimer's, assisted living, Medicare, all of that, it informs me every day in what I do now. It's so funny. All the things you do, you don't realize they can lead you up to a moment and inform
you
your entire life. So I stepped away from my career to take care of them. I was volunteering in the community, raising my daughter, and she went off to college. And the Nevada's 3rd District became open. People were looking for someone. They were trying to think out of the box. Who's someone who's lived in Nevada a long time? I raised a family, built a career, took care of my parents and in-laws, volunteered in the community, had a full, normal, regular life right here in Las Vegas. And so they were trying to think of somebody that was maybe not the traditional path of, this office, this office, this office. Sure. And so they approached me and said, would I take a chance? And, of course, I was a woman in tech, started in 1980, went in college in the 1970s with hard tech.
And that worked.
We had all those, we programmed with you have to be old enough to know those do not fold, spindle, or mutilate, the computer cards.
Punch cards.
And I thought, you know what? I've taken a lot of chances because there's still only 25% of women in tech in the whole United States.
Yeah, totally true.
So I always had to kind of find a new path, and I thought I'd be better for it. It'd be something good to do. And the thing that really convinced me to do it was this. When they said, don't think you're going to go change Washington. That's not how to think about it. This is how you think about it. Your constituent services, the people you help right here at home. Earlier today, we're talking to some folks, recipients of Meals on Wheels with Catholic Charities. Your constituent services, businesses, large and small, schools, universities, community colleges, grade schools. People are going to come talk to you. You're going to make a difference by listening to them and helping them. And those things you learn as you travel around the state, as you hear all the stories, they will become your seeds of legislation. And you will be able to make a difference for people. Most of it will never get on the news. Your constituent services, you help a veteran get his benefits or small business get their benefits. Exactly. That's not going on CNN or Fox News. He said, you will make a difference. And you will make a difference for people you may never even meet through some of the things that you do. If I do something for small business and now you're going to open a business and be a recipient of it, that's going to help you.
Yeah.
And so that's what spoke to me, is that you can make a difference. It isn't just what you see there, and you will help real people, and you will take their stories forward. And when they said that, I said, I'm going to try. I won for Congress. 2 years later, I ran for Senate. Here I am now in my 2nd term, and I'm very proud to be one of the most bipartisan, effective, and independent senators, because agree where you can and fight where you must. People are counting on you to get things done. That's what we do.
That is a great story. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah. Well, now, talking about small business issues, we were discussing this earlier. There's a lot of new, speaking of technology, there's a lot of changes that are coming down the pipe. And AI has been one that we've been working with ourselves. We've been trying to teach small business owners how to use it beneficially. And there's just a lot of changes with that.
Yeah, and personally for... I came out of college in 2023, so I'm part of this new grads, that are coming out of college, and there's definitely been AI impacts with jobs and getting a job and entry-level jobs. And I think something that's not been talked about on a legislation, viewpoint is there any legislation being put into helping kind of ride this plane of AI and potentially not being able to get a job, as someone who just graduated from college?
Well, I can tell you what I really have to believe, and I did spend my career in technology, and of course, we all deal with it now in our everyday life.
Yes.
Look no further than your telephone, right, and everything else. I think my oven is smarter than I am some days. The washing machine,
true.
except the washing machine, the dryer. If the dryer folds the clothes, then I will really believe it's intelligent. Other than that, no. But the point is that we do have to learn to live with this. But I do believe that nothing replaces who we are as human beings.
Right.
Look, I'm here with you now.
Absolutely.
Nothing
Nothing
in good times
replaces
and bad
this.
times. You hold your hand, somebody's hand when they're going through something great.
Yeah.
You go hold their hand when they're going through something rough. Nothing replaces us. And nothing replaces, even though a lot of people say, oh, humans don't have common sense, nothing, go ask Chat GPT a few questions. You realize they sound kind of like a 5-year-old, right?
Yeah.
And it's
true.
not that they're not smart, but they just don't have what
soul.
we are,
A
human soul. So
Yeah.
I don't want it to replace us. What I think the best thing it is to potentiate what we do.
Right.
Answer those questions. It can make crunching the numbers faster. It can make, depending what you do, it can help you go down research paths, if it's medicine, this, that, or the other. It can help you maybe do things faster. We used to say in my day when we were writing software, it help you work smarter, not harder. Right? So it can do that, but I don't think it replaces us. But with that being said, what we did for a few years is in the Senate, we brought lots of experts in AI and in quantum computing, all kinds of new technology to speak, not just to all 100 senators, and behind closed doors, so no cameras, so nobody's posting
watching
it.
Yeah.
We could ask real questions.
Okay.
Real experts came and talked to us about things. And our staff also came because you get a lot of government, political science, and this stuff is highly technical.
Yeah.
So they could actually learn, listen to the questions. What we need to do is we need to set these kinds of guardrails and make sure that just like anything else, we have rules of the road. There's speed limits, there's stoplights, there's things you can do, things you can't. And we want to protect people from AI that might run too wrong of a way this way or that way. And you do have to think of AI kind of, because how do they learn? It's like a little kid.
Yeah.
Yep.
So if whatever you're exposed to, whatever that, they say large language model, all the different things, it's whatever goes in. So if I just raised you and I never let you leave your bedroom, you're only going to know what I put, what books I gave you, this or that or the
Truman
other.
Show. Remember that movie?
Oh, I do. That was a good movie.
I don't know if you remember that.
Jim
Me too.
Carrey. It was Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey. Great movie.
Great movie.
Great movie.
Put it on the list.
But the AI only knows what you tell it.
Right.
And so in that way, it's kind of like a child. You have to give it a lot of different information, diverse information, and let it process it. And of course, computers are still, they're still binary.
Yeah,
it's either
exactly.
on yes or no, on or off, and all of those things. So we have a ways to go, but I do think that we have to not be afraid to start somewhere to set up all the right parameters to potentiate us, to educate us, and to protect us, just like we do with everything else, right?
Yes.
Just like we do with everything else.
Thank you. I had a question on small business. You're on the Senate. Is it? I'm going to get it wrong. Senate Committee for
Small Business and Entrepreneurship.
Small Business and Entrepreneurship. You guys oversee the SBA, the Small Business
do.
Administration. What do you see as one of the biggest obstacles for businesses today, especially small business owners?
Well, for all of your viewers out there, I know that people think in Nevada we're all just casinos, and we have great large casinos.
We do have some casinos.
We do have a few, and they're the best. I want
They
to
are
say
the
we're the
best in the world.
entertainment, sports. We got it all happening in Nevada, and that's fantastic. But actually, 99% of businesses in Nevada are small businesses, and small businesses categorized 500 or unders. We have a lot of businesses, 100, 200 people, not just the mom and pops, right? Yeah. And so almost 280,000 small businesses in Nevada. Like I said, 99%. Of course, tourism is the top of the
top
of the economy, and a lot of things kind of fall from there, and we can talk about that. But the biggest challenge to small business, of course, is not just having the idea. Having the idea is probably the easiest part.
Yeah.
Then you have to figure out, okay, I've got to create a business plan.
Yeah, the execution.
Right. How do I get my capital? How do I fund myself? How do I get people to believe in me if I'm going to get an investor? And then what's my plan well, 1 year, 3 year, 5 years. This is where I took that accounting, right? Exactly. So I'm just telling you, this is how it works.
Accounting actually matters.
Capital budgets, operating, but all of it matters. But my point is that you have to present a business plan. If you're going to go to a bank, if you're going to get funded. Now, of course, the SBA, they have a lot of programs. We have amazing chambers of commerce all across our state.
We do.
University, we have all these small business development centers, minority business development centers, veterans business outreach. We've got lots of information. I would tell all the viewers to be sure that you, if you're not sure where to go, you can always call the universities. But
we can help you.
You can also call the your local chamber of commerce and tell them a little bit about yourself, what you're doing. They can point you. We have, I'm not sure the total number of chambers, but it's a lot. We've got like 30. So they can point you to one that might help you meet some friends or colleagues, or just find out what they're doing, what resources there are, along with what's coming from the SBA. And so I think the biggest thing is really that access to capital, that access to information, becoming banked. You have people who just don't have that banking relationship. If you're a young entrepreneur, you mentioned I don't want to give away your thing, you might want to start a business. And if you do, but
confidentiality.
Confidentiality. But let's, for example, you do. You're in your 20s. Well, you may need a loan to start up.
Absolutely.
And you have to present that plan, that accounting. You have to have a plan for the future, how you're going to do all this, what's your sales, and watch Shark Tank. You'll see that.
Every time. How much have you sold?
What's revenue? Right.
What's your revenue?
That's right. But they're a little bit further along by the time they get on Shark Tank. But my point is, I think it's access to capital. And also I think building out that peer network that you can get through programs like yours here, through our different programs through the SBA, and a lot of those work really closely with every single chamber, because once you're plugged in and you start connecting and networking, you begin to maybe find those resources, and maybe you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Others have gone through it before you, and they can share with you some of the ways they did that, mentor.
It's totally true. You shouldn't do it alone.
No.
We both been entrepreneurs, and it's
depressing.
It's tough to do alone.
If you're,
we always say your family doesn't want to talk to you. Don't complain to your family; they don't want to hear it.
Well, maybe your mother.
Maybe your mother. That's right.
You can always complain to your mom.
Complain to mom.
But the point is that you could complain to your family, but who's going to actually have maybe some realistic answers to help you? And it's going to be your peers, and it's going to be the folks who have gone through it. And we'll go back to artificial intelligence. Things are better when you do them together. Things are better when you make friends. Things are better when you do that, and you have a group to bounce ideas off of and questions off of. And so I would say that that's just such a added value to be part of a small business community.
Definitely. Well, let's talk about some legislation now.
Okay.
You've got some stuff coming down the pipe and some stuff you've introduced recently. Do you want to talk about some of that regarding small business?
Well, talking about access to capital, we're going to imagine that you're going to open a business and you're just graduated college a couple years ago. So, I don't think you have $1 million in your checking account to.
God, I wish I did.
If he does,
you got $1 million?
If he does, we're gonna ask him for you could buy his coffee after this, right? But the whole thing is that trying to figure how you write that business plan and get that access. So we want to make it easier for our entrepreneurs. So we have legislation out there that increases the tax credits. So when you go to file your taxes from $5,000 to $50,000. So this way, if you're investing in, let's say you need equipment, whatever kind of business that is, and you can, again, I'm not a full accountant, but you can take those credits off. Those deductions off of your business, and that gives people a big help. So that's one thing we've done. The other legislation that we've co-sponsored, we're really proud to support, is that tariffs. The tariff liberation from tariff day, okay? And so, because small businesses, how the hell are you going to absorb those tariffs? First of all, in Nevada, 99% of business is small business. So you're not just an entrepreneur, you're an employer. You've got employees. You want to give them benefits, you want to pay them right, you want to do this or that. You have a product. You're bringing goods or services to the community. Well, depending where you get that, that may cost you more. So how are you going to balance? You have more employees, less product, more product, less employees. That tariffs, They're chaotic. They make no sense. And so how are you supposed to show a business plan that's supposed to be orderly when you can't even predict when the hell the tariff is off, on, upside down, in or out, or whatever?
Especially in food businesses too.
Especially in food business.
Yeah.
And we'll take the coffee, for example. We don't grow coffee primarily in the United States because our geography, there's certain places we can't do it, right?
We drink a lot of it,
but
though.
We love our coffee. Well, folks, I got to tell you, coffee's going up because that's getting a tariff on it. And so if you're in the coffee business,
it's hard to manage your costs.
It's hard to manage your costs, manage your employees, all of those things when you don't have the uncertainty. And it's not like you can just say, well, I'll just set up a coffee growing in my backyard or a company next door. We just our climate in this part in the United States is just not as conducive. Unless you're in Hawaii, they grow coffee.
Hawaii can grow coffee.
Hawaii
actually makes really good coffee. Yeah.
Really good coffee. That Kona coffee.
Yes.
And there might be a few places, but we're not like some other countries where they really have that great climate and for growing that coffee. So that's just one example how tariffs are going to hurt people. So we want to give that small business a little bit of relief, maybe a little bit more certainty. I don't want. I'm going to use your imaginary business. I don't want you to have to lay off any employees. Now you're working 24 hours a day because you lay off a couple people. Then they don't have a job either. And who's coming to buy your coffee if you've had to increase the price? You're working 24 hours a day and you laid off 2 people. It's a squeeze everywhere you go. And when there's no tourists, we'll talk about tourism. When there's no tourists, that's the top of our economy here in Nevada.
That affects us all.
Funnel.
Chairwoman for the tourism committee for 4 years. When tourism is down, that means there's less shifts. When there's less shifts, it means there's less money, less tips, less whatever. So then you go back out to your neighborhood. Nobody lives on the Strip, right? Those are all hotels. You come back out to your neighborhood. You want to go buy coffee or new pair of gym shoes, go out to eat, whatever it is, get your hair done from the hairdresser. You have less money. You don't spend it either. So then those small businesses, I used to go every week and have lunch at your place. Well, now I better save that amount of money because I just don't think there's going to be as many tourists. And so I'm going to save, just like I remember saving my tips in those envelopes, I'm going to save all that money because life is uncertain. Power's going up, gas is going up, food's going up, rent's going up, and there's no end in sight. And it's just so chaotic and without reason.
And it all ties in together.
It does.
Everything really all ties
everything.
in together. Yeah. And in Nevada, the tourism really is the driver for that other 99% in so many ways.
Let's talk about tourism. We have lower tourist numbers this year than last year, and we've had some concerning economic indicators as well that have popped in. What's your take on all that? You get really up to date information on this.
Well, I don't have the latest in tourism, but I think we're down anywhere between 8 to 10% year over year when I'm hearing some things from the Convention Authority. We know that across the nation, tourism from Canada is down 60 or 70%.
That's a lot.
I mean, it's a lot. That's just one country. Why are we fighting with Canada? I don't know, but that's another. Maybe I'll come back and talk about that one. But
we love you, Canada. I'm just going to say,
But
our friends to the north.
But let's talk about immigration issue. All the stuff going on. People are afraid.
That's definitely affected
People are afraid to come here. They're afraid they're going to get pulled out of line because they might have posted something on Facebook from another country where they live that has nothing, they're allowed to do whatever they're allowed to do. So you have immigration issues, you have a chaotic, even domestically, are you going to plan a vacation if you're not sure you're going to have a job? Or if you think your power bill, this year's heating bill for the winter might double, you're not going to plan a vacation. And the other indicator is that Las Vegas is one of the top convention businesses.
Yeah, that's one thing too.
We saw this in COVID. Conventions, these big conventions like CES and the World of Concrete, we have these giant conventions. They're planned 1 to 2 years out.
Yeah, they are.
Okay. And so if they're not certain, are they going to pay to have people travel here? It costs a lot of money to set up their big events and do all of those things. And so when you see conventions starting to stop, that means businesses are saying, I better hold on to my
right.
money
we have
too.
to be careful.
Be careful. So you'll start seeing convention will be that leading indicator of how the economy's doing everywhere else. And so we see it in convention business and personal tourism. People are worried about everything. They don't do any. They start stopping doing the optional things, which of course is a vacation, which is going to hurt all of us. And that's a really big problem. And for international tourism, we have an Olympics coming in a few years. We've got the World Cup. Well, Formula One. I mean, I'm just saying, not even just in Las Vegas. I'm saying all around the country. We have lots of international things going on, and it's important that we're a welcoming place for, especially when you want to welcome the world to the Olympics, don't we?
Right.
Absolutely.
Don't we?
One of the best countries.
Yeah. Right. That's right. That's
We love
right.
Nevada. It's great.
Right.
So
Yeah.
So let's talk about a lot of people, may be concerned about what's a senator do on a day-to-day basis, right? A lot of people, we need to give them a civics lesson, first of all, because how long do they serve? How long do they whatever? But what's a typical day in the life or a week in the life? What do you do that people may not know that you do?
Well, a senator serves for a 6-year term, different than the House. A House is a 2-year term. And I will tell you that in our state and in Washington, it's a little bit different in each place. So I will tell you that every week, for those folks who don't know, my Washington office, when the weeks that we're there, well, it's I think about 2,500 miles, I fly out every Monday morning on the 7 a.m. flight because we have to work Monday night, 5:30 p.m. Our floor of the United States Senate opens, we vote, we have meetings, I get off that plane, I go straight to work. So I fly in every Monday, and Thursday night, that 8 o'clock flight,
You're back out.
We're back out. So then on the weekend, I try to see my husband. I'm married 32 years in a couple of weeks, so that's good.
You get a positive for that.
I want to be married a little
great.
bit longer, but we try to work on the weekend, see as much as we can. We today met with some folks, like I said, Catholic Charities, Meals on Wheels. We've been meeting with small businesses. I was at community college a few days ago talking about some of the programs of funding that they're losing for their students, UNLV, et cetera, et cetera. The Medicaid roundtable with the UMC, is the health care cuts to Medicaid, Medicare, and others. It's going to, people will die. That's another conversation. And so what we do when we're in session, I fly out on Monday, go to work Monday night, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We have hearings. You can C-SPAN 2.
It's an all-day thing,
see
right?
us, all-day thing. We're voting. Turn on C-SPAN 2. You can see the hearings. You can see us voting. And we often vote into the early evening. So I get there Monday night. I work all day Tuesday, all day Wednesday. I work Thursday till maybe 3 in the afternoon or so, and then I drive to the airport. Dulles or Baltimore typically. It's about an hour away.
It's a drive,
It's a drive, get to the plane, and then fly that 5-hour flight back so I can work on Friday and work on the weekend. Sunday I try to do my laundry, so there you go. But when we're here, my team, what we do when we're in Nevada, and I've been traveling all around Nevada during the August recess. It's not really a recess, meaning you're not in school, you're not at work. It gives us a chance to be in our state. So I was in Winnemucca, I'm in Carson City, I was in Reno, Lake
Tahoe. You travel
Tahoe.
a lot.
I was up up northern Nevada. I've been here. And you're meeting with constituent groups, advocacy groups. Like I said, I have lots of stuff going on with healthcare and education right now. Meeting with you, talking about small businesses, talking really about, again, this goes back to the seeds of legislation. What are you worried about? What do we need to do?
Yeah.
Woman on Meals on Wheels, their HUD person, she's a widow, she's on Social Security, she has some health issues. These are her lifelines. She said, she's gone and not going to be replaced, and I don't know if I'm going to be okay. Her SNAP benefit, she gets food benefits besides Meals on Wheels, cut down a third. She goes, now I have to take more from Meals on Wheels. There's already almost 1,000-person waiting list there. So that means someone else isn't going to, their waiting list is going to grow from that. And then, of course, Social Security, if there's other cuts to her Medicare or any of that, that's just one story, trying to tell those stories. So we're always meeting with constituents and different groups, trying to hear the stories so that we can figure out how we make legislation that will help people work smarter, not harder,
Exactly.
be healthier, that really give people, I go back to my software days, I want to give people what they actually need to work, not what I think they need. I've been meeting with mayors, a lot of issues on water and wastewater all around Nevada. We're drought, water, fire. You're up north, firefighters.
Oh my God, yeah.
Wildfires.
It's been a constant issue.
Constant issue. And so when we're home, we're listening. So we can take that and then try to do good or holler at the people who are trying to hurt Nevada. I'm going to say, you can do that, but not, you're hurting my people in Nevada. Let's be sure. And so we agree where we can. If there's 10 things on the list to do, we agree on 5. I'm going to work with anybody to get those 5 done because I don't want to do nothing. So we'll do those. That's why I'm on those lists. And then we can argue about the other 5, and that's okay, but just keep trying to find solutions.
Exactly. Okay, good.
Yeah.
What's one of the surprising things to you? You go through an election process, which is difficult. You win, you're elated, and then you go to Washington. And then it's like, what was one of the surprising things for you that was, I guess nobody prepped you for? Do they sit down? It's kind of like when somebody gets elected president. I'm sure they sit down in some meeting and they just lay it all on them. Here's the whole thing.
Yeah,
is it like that when you're in the Congress
House,
or in the
In the House, there's a big turnover because every 2 years, so they always have a bigger class, freshman class. So there's kind of a formal week, but honestly,
like an orientation,
kind of an
almost.
orientation,
like college orientation.
But it's mostly like how to set up your office and how to because
how to get around,
and kind of like college
you already
orientation.
went through all that.
Right.
So when you get in the
And
Senate,
so the
how is it
Senate,
different?
there's a small group, so you don't have any of that. Basically, here you are, figure it out. And but this is where you work with your friends and colleagues to get it done. I think, I guess, I think people would be really surprised if I tell them that, not necessarily at the campaign events where people know I'm going to be, but I'm just a regular person. Like I said, I've lived here 50 years. I'm at Target, I'm at this place or whatever, and people stop me everywhere I go. And I have to say that for really the last, I was in the House 2 years. I'm here now 6.5 years, so 8.5 years, that people are really nice when they come up to me. And people sometimes tell me I'm worried about, they when I'm in the room or they see me, it's not that big political, well, I hate this or that. They tell me what they're worried about, and it becomes very personal. So if people recognize me and they want to talk to me, they usually say, well, I've had people say, oh, I don't always agree with you, but I know you're in Nevada, and I know this or that. This is what's bothering me. And they are very, they're very kind when they talk to me, and they're just sharing their story. It's just one-on-one. And
that's good to hear.
Yeah.
I think that people would probably be very surprised to hear that. And it's always very fun. Like I'm shopping at Target or somewhere with my husband, and they'll say, why are you here? I said, "What? I'm in the buying laundry detergent."
Like,
I said, you think I'm letting him buy the laundry detergent?
That's how we stay married this long.
That's how we stay married this long.
We disagree on laundry detergent.
I'm like, I give him the list. But I think people are they're kind of surprised to see me acting like you're just out. And then they really will just share with me a lot of very personal stories. And I feel very honored that people are comfortable to share with me what they're feeling. And honestly, we get probably to my Senate office every week. We get a weekly report of all kinds of things that we do, but we log all the letters, calls, emails. A few weeks ago, it was 18,000 in a week. Now, Nevada only has 3 million people.
18,000 emails?
And I have
That's more than I got, Shiva, for sure.
And I have a big staff, and part of dedicated staff. We read everything. I write notes. I call people. They pull out letters for me from folks, and we respond to all of it. I've had someone stop me somewhere and said, "I sent you, and you sent me the email." They let me pull it up on my phone. I never thought I'd hear back from you. And so we do read them all, and we send letters and respond. And
okay.
Now I can't respond to 18,000, but they pull out a bunch. Yeah. I read them, and I try to write notes to folks and let them know we're paying attention.
Thank you. Well, thank you very much for coming on our show today. This has been great. How best can they contact your office if somebody has a question or they want to voice a concern? What's the best
So the best
source?
thing to do, so our Senate office for constituent services. We work with veterans, with seniors, with immigration issues, with tax issues, with Social Security, you name it, all these federal issues. Sometimes people call our office. It might be a local issue. We can't help them, but we can always tell you where to call. So if you look us up at rosen, rosen.senate.gov, you can send an email, you can call, and we will, if we can't help you, we can give you a referral. It could be to something that's local. But any federal issue, whatever it is, we help with passports, you name it, we're there. We will do everything that we can to help you or to put you in the right direction to get help. rosen.senate.gov.
rosen.senate.gov. Okay. Yeah. Well, thank you very much for being on with us here today. This has been really good.
Very insightful.
Very insightful. Right? Yeah. Thank you for sharing
back
that.
Anytime.
Grateful for your service to us in Nevada and keep on fighting for us in the Senate. So that's good. So, well, thanks for being on the BizLife Podcast. It's been another great episode. And thank you once again for being on the show today. So go do something great in your business today. Thank you.